going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome if it's your first time here. I just noticed about 3 minutes before turning this camera on that I'm actually wearing a Smith & Wesson M&P t-shirt and this Glock hat. Now, I typically wear this Glock hat most of the time, but this t-shirt and the Glock hat together was a coincidence this morning. I woke up kind of half groggy and half asleep and put this shirt on, and to be honest about it, I never even paid any attention to what I've been wearing all day, and I just now saw it when I turned the camera on and I'm looking in this viewfinder over here, and I noticed I had the shirt and the hat on. So I guess that Smith & Wesson and Glock is getting some free advertising in this video today. But anyway, guys, the purpose of this video is, do you all think that people who fail to prepare deserve to suffer? You know, as Christians, we're taught to, help our neighbors, to lend a helping hand. However, we can only do so much. And most of us, we've talked to our family members, to our friends, we've talked to people in the past to try to get them to, do their own prepping, to actually prepare for what's coming. We have talked to people about current events, about the national debt. We've talked to people about other things that could happen and tried to suggest, tried to work the conversation around to planting the seed in their mind that, hey, you should do something, you should prep. However, the unfortunate reality is that no matter how much we talk, no matter how much common sense we use, it doesn't really matter, because most people aren't going to do anything. Most people aren't going to prep, and in all honesty, when we're talking to these people, you can see in most about everyone I've talked to face to face, and you're looking in their eyes, you can see in their face that they have this, you're stupid, you're paranoid, nothing's going to never happen. And they also have this thing that you can see that they're filing it back in their mind, that if and when something does happen, I'll just come to your house. I made a video about that a few months ago, and I'll link that description box below about what to do, with your neighbors and people coming to your house that aren't prepared, looking for a handout. But unfortunately, no matter what we do, what we say, how much we try to persuade, how much common sense we use, how much facts we show these people who aren't preparing, most, probably 95 or more percent, probably more, won't never do anything. They will let it go in one ear, out the other one, and follow that back to remember that you have these preps, and if anything happens, they'll come to your house to look for a handout or even try to take what you have. So in reality, the people that have been warned, the people who have been talked to and been reasoned with, if they fail to prepare, then that is on them. And in my opinion, your opinion might be different. You might feel a different way. And if that's the case, you can put that in the comments below. But in my opinion, if you have been talked to, if someone has talked to you about prepping, the people you've talked to about prepping, the people I've talked to about prepping, if they haven't done anything on their own, if they just brush it off as your paranoia that nothing's going to never happen, when they can see history, they can see what's happened here recently, common sense would dictate that prepping is a good idea. Even in the Bible, it tells us to prep and be ready. But most people still won't. They know the possibility, but they still refuse to do anything. And in my opinion, those people who have been tried to be reasoned with, who you've talked to, who you've tried to help, who haven't done anything, they deserve to suffer, because their suffering is in their own hands. If they would have taken just a little time, a little effort, and actually prepped, used common sense, actually thought for themselves, and tried to prepare for themselves and their family, then they wouldn't be suffering. So their suffering isn't your fault, and their suffering isn't your concern, unless they come and try to take what you have. It says in the Bible to help others. However, in my opinion, like I said a minute ago, in your opinion it might be different. However, in my opinion is that if I've tried to talk to these people, I've tried to reason with people, this YouTube channel, my website at Creekmore.com, I've done all kinds of things to try to help people to get prepared. And the people who haven't taken that advice, you know, they deserve to suffer. Now, the sad thing is, a lot of these people have families, and they, you know, immediate families, wife, kids, and things like that, and they are more control, whereas another member of the family, you know, might want to prep. This other one will hold this other one back from doing it. And I've seen that a lot. You know, we have one person that wants to prep and another one who wants to just brush it off and act like it's complete paranoia and ridiculousness to actually prep for potential disasters. So you have one nagging at the other one to stop prepping, and usually the one who doesn't see the logic in prepping and being ready and being prepared, usually that person will influence this other person and nag so much on this other person who wants to prepare that the person who wants to prepare will completely stop prepping. And you also have, you know, children who could suffer, and those are the people that I feel sorry for and who don't deserve to suffer. But still, you can't help everyone. So it is not to be a burden on you or I to help everyone. We prepare for ourselves, for our family, for our group. And if you can help someone, you know, that's great. But if you can't, then you can't beat yourself up about that and feel a burden on you, because these people who haven't prepared has had plenty of opportunity to do so. The ones I feel the most sorry for, the most empathy for, are, you know, the children who have no say-so in the matter and who don't understand, you know, what's going on and the necessity of actually prepping. And I feel sorry for those children. And if I help anyone, it will be those children. Unfortunately, when you help the children, you also have to help, you know, the parents who should have known better, who should have prepared for their own children. It gets complicated, guys, but if you can help, then feel free to do so. If you can do it safely and securely, then feel free to do so. However, if you can't, and especially if it's someone you know you've talked to before who shows up looking for a handout, don't feel bad or have a heavy burden on your shoulders because you didn't help that person. That person should have helped themselves. The person should have done for themselves. However, you know, if you can help and you want to help, that's still fine to do that, but don't have that burden on your shoulders. But for me, anyone I've talked to, tried to reason with, and who has looked at me with that "you're a paranoid psycho" look, then that person deserves everything they get. They deserve the hardship that they have taken on to themselves, because it's not my fault. I tried, they did nothing. So the burden isn't on me, the burden is on them. You know, like they are the head of their families. You know, the husband and the wife are the head of their household, and the burden for their children is on them. It's not really on us. So guys, if you can help, that's great. But if you can't, then don't let that burden you down, and don't let that keep you awake at night, you know, after a HTTF event and someone comes looking for a handout. If you can give it, fine. If you can't, then don't. But don't beat yourself up if you decide not to, because the burden and responsibility is on that person who failed to prepare. And anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, get a big old thumbs up. Right over here with this next video. Thanks, guys, for watching. MD Creekmore out.